Hey guys, Steven here, and today I wanted to talk to you about the ability of state management. See, it's funny because we always hear that the mood that you're in directly impacts and affects the results that you get in anything, whether it's business, whether it's health, whether it's even playing a professional game. If you're a professional athlete, your state of mind is everything. But it's funny because to me, I still don't see enough people doing things to manage their state. So how can you really manage your state? Well, I guess I'll take my example. I used to be someone who had a lot of mental issues in the sense that I was always very depressed. I was always self-sabotaging myself. I felt like I wasn't good enough and I was worthless. And essentially every time I did something wrong, I over-amplified that situation, that interaction, or that event. And I just took it as more proof to validate my loser personality. So it took me a long time and a lot of basically learning self-development and self-growth to realize that ultimately I am not my past circumstances. As Jordan Belfort put it, I am the lessons and capabilities that I gleaned from it. So what that means is you can't ever get too down on yourself. You can't ever be too harsh because essentially that is life. You win some, you lose some. Now, the power that you have, your ability to control your reality, to control your fate, lies into what you want to focus on. There is a function, a physiological mechanism in the human brain called the reticular activation system. And what it does is it seeks that which is of value in your environment and discards that which is of not. So a quick example of this. How many things in your environment where you are right now have the color blue? Right? So I'm noticing, for example, blue lights, these blue Christmas lights. I'm noticing even like my blue shirt. I'm noticing this blue on this trash can right here. There's all kinds of blue things, right? Even the bike. The bicycle is somewhat blue, right? So now that I've talked about blue, let me ask another quick question. How many things in your environment are red? It's funny because we took a good amount of time to figure out the blue items, but we never even thought about the red. But now that you give yourself a minute, you'll quickly realize, for example, this is red, the door's red, there's all kinds of red things. But it's a quick illustration of this mechanism. So what it does essentially is it filters out whatever information is not of use to you. So let's imagine that we were cavemen in the back in the old days, right? If you were sitting in a tribe of people and then all of a sudden you see the look of fear in the person sitting next to you, if you turned around and looked at what scared him so much, you would be eaten by a man-eating fucking tiger, saber-toothed tiger, or his ancestor, something like that. So the brain, in its wonderful ability to evolve, realize that it has to basically find ways to save our time and energy when it comes to making decisions, right? I always say that the human body is essentially the ultimate intelligence system. In fact, I fully believe that if we could see and process every single thing that it captures in, right? I always say everything is energy, right? So you're essentially always gathering in energy, always somewhat giving out some, right? So if we could feel the vast magnitude of that energy, we would feel what it's like to be God, or that state of omniscience. But since currently, psychologically, we are not yet ready to handle such a level of consciousness, the brain says, okay, I will just simplify everything so that he doesn't go crazy, right? Now, in this simplification, it also removes too much because some people can take it and some people don't. So the baseline is just enough, right? Now, the thing that is good and bad about it is where you put your attention, that's where you are, right? And that's good and bad. It's good because, say for example, you focus your attention on good things, then that means your state of mind, your awareness is positive. You will be happy, you will be joyous, you will be excited, you will be optimistic, right? You will feel like you can do no wrong. Like everything you touch turns to gold, right? Now, say for example, you focus your attention on something that is negative. You will be sad. You will be, as I was, always depressed. You will always be angry and on edge, on guard. Do you know people like this? That's what I thought. Now, what's crazy about it is the more that you base, the more access to a chemical that you create, the stronger that neural pathway the brain makes to it to basically make it easier. Because the brain is saying, well, he likes doing this, or he likes this chemical so much, so I will facilitate his job and make it easier to access that chemical. As I always say, the mind is just like a horse, right? It just goes left, right, down, up. It knows not what is good or bad. But you, as the operator, the conscious, living presence in there, have to whip your horse into shape. You have to be like the charioteer to the wild out horse, telling it, this way is where we're going. This way is where we're going. Especially when it doesn't want to listen to you. So, the more you access happiness, the stronger the neural pathway to happiness is created. And essentially now, happiness becomes your base state. It becomes your personality. The more you access anger, the more you access depression, the more you access feeling of overwhelmed or victim mentality, the feeling that basically you're powerless to life and the events that occur in life, and that you can do nothing to control it, the stronger that neural pathway is reinforced as well. So you end up always being angry, always being depressed, always feeling like a victim. What blows my mind though is the fact that it is so easy to change. All it takes is a quick reframe. And that is essentially what I define as putting your own interpretation of something that occurred. That is as simple as that. So say for example, you're trying to learn how to ride your bike and you fall down and you scrape your knee. Right? Now someone who is addicted to happiness will say, fuck yeah! I fell down! Now I'm getting closer, not falling anymore! Yeah! Because I made that mistake once, so I won't do it again. Someone addicted to being sad and depressed will say, I'll never ride a bike! I suck! I'm just gonna give up! This is a direct example of how the mind works. It all goes back to what you allow yourself to feed into it. What is the quality of your thoughts? Or the empowering ones? Such as the example in the bike, where you always see everything as a good. And because of that, you interpret every single event as positive, contributing to your overall growth. Or are they negative? and you very disempowering, and you essentially see life as hopeless, useless, and ultimately meaningless. Whatever the quality of your thought that is most prominent in your mind, that is the nature of your life. That is what dictates the results that you will see. That is what dictates the kind of life that you will have. So, how can you manage your state? Because as I mentioned, life is both good and bad. So that means that no matter how happy you are, shit will always just happen. How can you basically change your physiology, change your state of mind, so that even when shit hits the fan, you can stay focused, you can stay happy, you can stay optimistic? One ways in which I like to do it is actively using your self-talk to generate your own positive emotions. So, one of my mentors has an incredible video about it, and it goes in length. And essentially the idea is, in his mind, he constantly and purposely sees everything in the voice of Cartman. So when something bad happens to him, he's just like, man, this sucks. And just the act of creating that funny sound in his head overly ridiculizes whatever it is was making him feel down, and essentially just revitalizes him and gets him back onto that optimistic track of mind. I will put the link below, so definitely check it out. Another way in which you can actively change your state is by literal actions. A simple clap, a simple jumping up and down will get the job done, because essentially emotion is created by motion. Motion creates emotion. So just moving around, tiptoeing on your toes when you get in the club and you feel like you can't approach anyone, or you're feeling approach anxiety, will definitely jumpstart you to the next level, because essentially you're telling your body, look, it's okay to move, it's okay to express, it's okay to take space, it's okay to put yourself out there. And the brain does not work on promises, it works on proof. So by proving it, that freedom of expression is normal, possible, and will not kill it, it almost opens up all its capabilities. It allows you to be your best self. Another way in which you can manage your state is by remembering that no matter what, it is all just a wave. And to me, that is my biggest weapon. Whenever anything happens to me and I feel like I will not be able to get over it, I simply just step back, take a deep breath, and I repurpose my breathing. Remember that breathing must come from the diaphragm, diaphragmatic breathing, where essentially you're breathing from your stomach. You're pushing out, you're breathing in air through your stomach like an airbag, and then pushing it out again. Your shoulders should not lift up and down, but it should be coming from here. So first, I recenter myself by asking myself how I'm breathing. Once I do that, I actively remember that ultimately, in my short lifespan, meaning in the grand scope of things, the fact that the Earth is over 2,000 years old, and I'm just one wave on this giant ocean, this moment that I'm worried about really ultimately does not matter. Because I guarantee you, after this hardiest trial, after this trying wave, there will inevitably, without a doubt, come an even giant positive up wave. So always remember that it is just one way. Anyways, I hope you guys got something out of this. And as always, until next time.